if you, yeah, once you finish that, you can submit it. If I was you and I got a question wrong, I would submit that, I would keep this paper and I would study it all the way up until Monday. This was a pulse check, so now you see where your pulse is at. I would even calculate how many I had correct. If you calculate how many that you got correct, I can tell you what you would have got on this if it was a grade. All right. Once you click submit, you may put your Chromebook back underneath your desk. All right, everybody should be tracking me in 3, tracking me in 2, 1, thank you, and 0. First, I have good news and I have bad news.
You have bad news.
You want the good news or the bad news first?
Bad news.
The bad news?
Yeah.
The bad news is we have a checkpoint Monday and Tuesday.
You said that already.
What's the good news?
That you not teaching.
The good news is we have finished another unit, which is Unit 2. Yeah. And so there's 5 units in a year. We've knocked down 2. So we got 3 more left. All right? And so as we close out Reconstruction, this is our last time talking about this antebellum to Reconstruction period. We're going to watch a video real quick of them summing up kind of what this period was like. As you write, there's notes in your do now that says, there's a spot for you to take notes. All right, trace it up for me. Thank you. It's a spot for you to take, submit notes. All right, as you watch this video, you should have these notes filled out. Does that mean when the video is over, I should start filling out notes?
No.
I should fill out notes when? Good. All right, so I should see everybody console moving as we watch this video. It's just 2 minutes.
These slaves have been freed, it didn't mean that they were going to have equal rights. After the Civil War, you had formerly enslaved Americans that were just really set out to fend on their own. They had been separated from their families. They didn't have jobs for the most part. They did not know how to read and write. African Americans had to begin to work hard just to become citizens of this country.
They needed to be educated. They needed to be given health care. And most importantly, they needed jobs. And what skills that they have for the jobs that might be there.
The fate of African Americans was further complicated by the fact that in the border states of Maryland, Delaware, Missouri, and Kentucky, slavery was still.
I love seeing so many people pencils moving in this moment.
As Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation only applied to the states that were at war with the Union. In order to abolish slavery once and for all, and to begin granting the benefits of full citizenship to persons of color, it would be necessary to amend the U.S. Constitution, and not with just one amendment, but 3. Ratified on December 6, 1865, the 13th Amendment outlawed slavery throughout the United States and its territories. It also eliminated the clause in the Constitution that counted slaves as 3/5 of a person. But still, another amendment was required, one that clarified that former slaves were entitled to American citizenship.
The 14th Amendment is necessary because the Dred Scott decision had said that African Americans were not citizens of the United States. And so the 14th Amendment makes sure that we do have citizenship and that we have due process. At least that's the way it's supposed to work.
Michael, set up for me. Appreciate it.
Oh, I was writing.
I got you. All right. So now that we have finished this unit 2, I just want to hear your thoughts. Tell me what was the most impactful thing that you learned, and like how does this just really connect with you? All right, I'm gonna take a couple of them. We're gonna have a quick discussion. We're gonna go with Larry, Janaya, Ben, and then Michael Harris. Go, Larry. What was Unit 2 like for you?
It was tough for a little bit, and then it got easy.
Tell me why. You didn't give me no type of thing. You just, What was the most impactful thing that you learned, or what was your favorite thing that you learned as we covered this unit?
I learned a lot of things. There's commitment and all that. Yeah.
Gotcha. Ben? Janaya, then Ben. My bad, Janaya.
I said it was kind of hard because I knew that people couldn't do the right things and what they was doing to thank people.
Go, Ben.
He said the most impactful thing was that even after the war, they still didn't give them education or health care after they helped them win.
Crazy, right? Who else?
I said like Unit 2, it was hard for me to look back at what the white people did to our ancestors and how Abraham Lincoln was trying to say that he was a good man, but he still was double back and doing
Kabar?
During the slaves' rights of American citizenship,
Say it again, I'm sorry.
the amendment had gave slaves rights to American citizenship.
Anybody else want to tell us what they loved about Unit 2 or what they thought was very interesting? We'll go Rashad and then Troy.
What was very interesting was how he still was treating black people after the freedom. And
What was your favorite thing so far?
I don't know.
That's alright. Go Troy.
It was interesting for me, but it was free. It's saying how to eat right.
Yeah. Anybody else want to share? Alright, and so what we're getting ready to do is we're going to take the rest of the time in class. Throughout your packet, you have different sources that we looked throughout of this unit that we specifically talked about Reconstruction. What you're doing is based on each source, you're going through and you're deciding, was Reconstruction bad, was it successful, or was it unsuccessful, right? Each source might be different. You might look at one source and say it was successful, and you might look at another source and be like, maybe it wasn't successful, all right? I'm going to give you the rest of the class with a partner without getting up or getting close to somebody. That means you look to the left, you look to the right. The first person you make eye contact with without getting up is going to be your partner. You can go through these sources and you're writing full sentences that says, was Reconstruction successful or was it not successful? And so the way that you set this up on your paper was based on this source. Everybody write this on number 1. Go to the first one. This should be your template for your writing each source. Based on this source, the Reconstruction era, then in that blank you put successful or unsuccessful, and then you put because, and you tell me why, based on the source. Alright? We got about 10 minutes to do this. Alright? You may start working with your partner and go. Each source is going to be different. Each source is going to present something different. What you might think is successful might be opposite of what I think is successful. So that's why it's opinionated.